In this video we'll have a look at the basics of our shapes configurator. It is defining which parts of the table or tables will be visible later on in the shape. Welcome to the world of holistic efficient solutions. As always, this video is uncut. We start from scratch, starting slowly. And first, again, let's add some basic data to start with, and yet again we will use a helper tool to let us quickly add in the data so that we don't have to wait that long for it. Okay, let's maximize, and then we scratch this, and let's open then the field list and the configurator. And as a first action, again we go to the perspective and just take the field names from this record, and instantly you will see that both in the field list and also in the configurator they are showing up accordingly. Now the first thing to watch out for, please mind the status bar again. In the configurator, the first line is the name of the table itself. Then there's a pseudo field. The first one is show all records, which will be covered in another video because this is more complicated. We have the pseudo field rank, which for the time being it's okay to imagine it as sort of a line number, and then the user-defined fields that follow. The check mark next to those fields indicates if they are being used for the field list and for later on. So if you click on it or uncheck it, you can click either here or on the check mark. It has the same effect. It will either vanish or reappear again then in the field list. Default setting is that rank and all user fields are in, but you can reduce it any way you like. If you are using tables with lots of fields, it might be easier to just kick some out. So you already saw it maybe. If we disable the rank, then of course there's also not the rank available in the field list, and everything collapses then to a single record. If you re-add it, the default for rank is to show up in the row cluster block, and for the user-defined fields the default behavior is if you click it that they will be appended to the aggregates block. So that's the way it is. And the moment you unselect at least one of the user-defined fields or the rank, you will also see over here that this is in sort of a tree state mode, and which is also a shorthand. When you click on the table itself, it will reinsert all the fields or take all of the fields out, either way. So that's a shorthand for adding or removing fields. So that's the left clicking part over here. If you use the context menu, there are some context menus available on the table title itself. You can, for example, rename it if you like. You can also delete it entirely after confirmation, or do some table related refactorings, which will be covered also later. The show all records doesn't have, neither does rank have a context menu, and the user-defined fields, they have the similar ones, so you can rename the field, you can delete it, or you can do either one or the other way of refactoring, which also will be covered later on. This button is also explained later on in the video. It will relate when we have several tables linked with each other, but this is beyond the basics that we're covering in this video right now. And this is pretty much it, but of course there's more to embrace, but that'll be another story.